Have you ever wondered how to know love? Real, true love from someone who's not just out to get something from you? Well, here's the answer. But before we dig into that, welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert, the top spot on the internet for beverages with the bishop and a new cup. Because I'm out on the road and I don't have my regular coffee cup with me. I do miss it. Anyway, thanks for joining me. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them get to know him and his word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and then share it with a friend. Join our email list to get a free copy of my book, Count to One. You'll get Mornings with Bishop Robert sent directly to your inbox each morning. Lots of other great benefits. So click the link in the description. You know, Jim thought he'd found true love, but then Marie broke his heart. I mean, he thought she truly loved him, and he was even considering asking her to marry him. But then, with no explanation, she abruptly broke it off. Then 3 weeks later, he got the following letter from her. Dearest Jimmy, no words could ever express the great unhappiness I've felt since breaking off our engagement. Please say you'll take me back. No one could ever take your place in my heart. Please forgive me. I love you. I love you. I love you. Yours forever, Marie. P.S. Congratulations on winning the lottery. If only it were always so easy to tell when someone's main goal is only to take advantage of you. Well, today's verse begins by saying, this is how we know what love is. Now, if you've been part of Mornings with Bishop Robert for any amount of time, you know that each day I also post a visual version of the scripture verse for that day. So today's image features a person standing on a hilltop that's a great distance away, so far that they almost can't be seen. An arrow points to them, and also you'll notice that the text of the Bible verse is really very, very small. I mean, the only easily readable words are Jesus Christ, and all the rest are pretty much illegible until you get very, very close. I almost discarded the image and decided not to use it. But then the Lord said to me, you're about to miss the entire lesson. Well, as I kept looking at the image, I got it. Even while you're looking at the person, you cannot miss the name Jesus Christ, since the letters of his name are so bold. To reach that person, even to try to engage into discussion, would require massive effort. I mean, clearly seen in the image are several hills, and the distance is obviously great. Of course, it's not just the physical distance that needs to be considered. Even if we traveled across all those hills and valleys and finally reached the person, there's no guarantee they'd even want to speak with us. Well, the lesson hidden within the image is that Jesus has gone a great distance to reach us. He comes and offers us something he knows we need desperately and can find nowhere else. Coming to us cost him dearly. In fact, it cost him his life. You know, the verse I'm quoting today continues in its explanation. This is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us. Now, he didn't just come and talk about love. He demonstrated his love. It's been said that love talked about can be easily turned aside, but love demonstrated is irresistible. Well, I think a demonstrated love is harder to resist, but it can still be ignored. And actually, that's where we come into the picture. You see, the full verse today says, this is how we know what love is. Jesus Christ laid down his life for us. And we ought to lay down our lives for our brothers and sisters. It says, we who know Jesus decide to follow his example and live out his love, that people get to see the impact of it in a way that's up close and personal. We tell people that coming into a relationship with Jesus will change their lives, give them peace and power, let them live miracles and walk in blessing. We can talk about the love of Jesus, but love talked about can be easily turned aside. The question is this: can the people we speak to actually see his love being demonstrated by us? Can they see how the love of Jesus has changed us and our lives? Are our lives controlled by our love for him? A situation was told to me about a 20-year-old girl named Jan who'd been invited to a party. Now, someone in the group suggested they go to a certain restaurant, a place that was pretty much known for allowing underage drinking. I'd rather you took me home, Jan said to her date. My parents don't approve of that place. What? Are you afraid your father will hurt you if he finds out? One of the girls said sarcastically. No, Jan replied. I'm afraid I might hurt my father. You see, she understood that true love is expressed in our choices. A certain medieval monk announced that he'd be teaching Sunday evening on how to know love. Well, as evening fell, a large congregation gathered. In the darkness, the monk approached the altar, lighted a candle, and then carried it to the cross. First of all, he illumined the crown of thorns. Next, the two wounded hands. Then the marks of the spear. And finally, the feet. In the hush that fell, he just blew out the candle and left the church because there was nothing else to say. Well, we're out of time this morning too. But before we go, can I ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew and help them get to know him and his word personally and better? Please like this video to help more people see it. And then click follow or subscribe so that you and I can get together every day. Click the link in the description. You'll get a free copy of my book, Count to One. And one more thing. Share this with a friend, would you? Because as you do, you're part of the team touching more than 1 million hearts all over the world with the love of Jesus. Thanks for helping.